It's that time again where I tell you what I read last week, give you some updates and reviews. If this is your first video for me, hi, I am Simply Nicole. I am a bookish mama, and if you want to see more book videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. And if you guys are wondering what I'm holding here, this is a new Rode Wireless Go 2 that I am trying out on this video for the first time. And if you guys can hear the kids in the background, well, I'm sorry, but I got kids. So because April ended in the middle of the week, we do have some books that kind of overlapped over to the What I Read April edition. So just so you guys know, you might see some books that are repeated. However, I only gave ratings for those books, so now you will actually learn what the books are about. So the first book that I read for the week was Sissy, an Empress of Her Own. This is number 2 of a duology of Empress Elizabeth of Austria, a very interesting character in history. I initially found this series after watching the PBS Masterpieces namesake TV show called Sissy, and I can tell you, Sissy's story only got more interesting on the second book. After her estrangement from Franz, she found many more loves, and where she found peace, she also found tragedy. As you guys can see, we've got a little bit of a baby break going on. He hasn't been feeling good this past week, so we're going to keep him probably for the rest of the video. So, as I was saying, I gave this book 4 stars because even though it is fiction, the fact that she had all these loves that were considered rumors at the time, it made the story a lot more entertaining. Plus, the love she had for her Hungarian child, Valerie, was very special, and it just came off as very perfect in the book. Next, book number 2, I read Flawless. This book I initially read for a Bookish Besties challenge, our spring challenge. Of course, you guys have already heard about this from previous videos. So one of the things with this challenge is you get extra points if you do a buddy read. So a couple girls from my team and I decided, hey, you know what? We've been wanting to read Chestnut Springs series from Elsie Silver. Let's go ahead and start it and get some extra points for it. So we start off with Rhett, who is a famous bull rider, and he's gotten into some trouble. Nothing legal or anything, but he has lost a couple sponsorships because he punched a guy. And he hates milk. Enter in Summer, whose job is just to keep him in line and make sure that he doesn't get into any more trouble so he loses more sponsorships. Now, if anyone is looking for a enemies to lovers and a romantic comedy, this is the book for you. And of course, we learn just how much Rhett hates milk, and we learn about the hat rule. We also learn how much Summer becomes Rhett's biggest fan. The smut, it's steamy, but it's not overbearing. I mean, it did make me blush quite a bit. Now on to book number 2 of Chestnut Springs, Heartless. We begin Heartless with Cade, who is Rhett's brother. He has a younger son named Luke, and he is in need of a nanny to take care of Luke while he's at work. And Summer, our previous heroine, has the perfect person to take the job. Enter Willa, an eccentric redhead who is in love with music. At first, Willa invades Cade's thoughts, and he is not too happy about this. But our reserved Cade, he becomes to love it, and he falls deeply in love with Willa. In my opinion, the best part of this book was actually Willa's and Luke's relationship as opposed to Willa's and Cade's relationship. Willa really becomes like a mother role to Luke, and that's what he sorely needs. And Luke is so dang cute. So if you're looking for the perfect single dad book, this book gave me 5 stars. And I don't think if I mentioned it before, but Flawless also was a 5 stars as well. Book number 4 was a book that my husband gave me. You guys may have seen it on my Instagram before. It is called The Jane Austen Society. The book looks really cute, and the premise was very promising, but it just fell short for me. Book number 4 was a book that my husband got for me called The Jane Austen Society. The title looked cute, and the premises were promising, but it just fell short for me. So we begin the book in post-World War II era, and a bunch of people get together from vastly different backgrounds to share their love for Jane Austen. They all have different reasons for loving Jane Austen, and they try to piece together what Jane Austen's life was really like. Together, they deal with love, grief, and everything in between. I just feel like there could have been 50 less pages of detail, and it probably would have made for a better story. So I know this is pretty tacky, but my phone died. It's on the charger now. I don't have my microphone anymore. Ben was very cranky, so I've been rocking him to sleep, and he is now asleep, and I don't want to bother him. So book number 5 was the You series. Book number 2, Hidden Bodies. This one began when we had a discussion in the Bookish Besties discussion. We were talking about how good the You series in Netflix was. And then I just thought, I never finish this series because it is super good. We begin book number 2 with Joe having just killed Beck. He briefly meets this girl named Amy who pulls a fast one on him and takes $100,000 worth of first edition books and hightails it. Joe tracks her down to LA and he coincidentally finds Love Quinn. And ironically, he finds love with Love Quinn. But Joe's life is not that simple. Love's twin, 40, is very spastic and he's a drug addict, and he makes life very difficult for Joe. And there is also Delilah, who is Joe's neighbor, who is all over him until she's not, and she suspects him, and, well, Delilah has to go. Oh, and the police officer who is friends with Delilah, well, he has to go too because he suspects Joe when Delilah goes missing. But the most surprising part of all was when Joe confesses everything to Love, and she's totally fine with it, especially because of the fact that she is pregnant. So we come to the final total of 5 books for the week of 5/5. So what's in store next week? I do have an arc that is due on May 10th that I'm super excited about. I'm about halfway through it. I also have a couple authors who have come up to me wanting me to read their books, so I have also added that to my list. And on May 1st, my local library, was added onto Libby. So of course, me being me, I see all these audiobooks that I have been waiting for months to get. I just added all of them. So now I have a long list of audiobooks to go through. So it's going to be a very busy week for me. Tune in next week to see how well I did in keeping up with all of this. Thank you everyone for watching and have a happy bookish day.